A missile streaked across the sky, but it wasn't the one anyone expected. Men froze. Alarms screamed. In less than 30 seconds, the ship they called home would become a battlefield of fire and steel. The radar went silent. Not a single blip. Yet, somewhere in the black waves, shadows were moving. Fast, precise, and deadly. Explosions lit up the dawn like fireworks only. These were death. Somewhere beyond the horizon, unseen hands had turned the ocean into a battlefield. And the men aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln would soon understand what nightmare felt like. Lieutenant Commander Alex Harper hugged the photograph of his daughter, hiding behind the bulkhead. Somewhere outside, death was approaching, and there was nothing he could do but wait. The sun glinted off the endless ocean, waves crashing against steel, echoing a rhythm of war that seemed almost alive. Then silence, too perfect, too quiet, and from that, calm hell was about to erupt on the flight deck. A missile streaked across the sky, but it wasn't the one anyone expected. Alarms screamed, men froze. Seconds stretched, elastic and cruel. Harper felt the world tilt. The ocean itself seemed to recoil. "Brace yourselves," he shouted, though he wasn't sure if anyone could hear him over the rising tide of chaos. The Iranian Commandos had been planning this for months. Or had they? Harper's mind raced. Intelligence reports had hinted at unusual naval activity near the Strait of Hormuz, but no one had believed it would reach this far. Yet here they were, silent, invisible, deadly. A locked box, untouched for centuries, held secrets he feared to see. Or maybe he just told himself that. On deck, Chief Petty Officer Ramirez squinted into the horizon, his eyes catching a faint glint off the water. "Sir, something's there, moving against the current." Harper leaned closer, the subtle uncertainty gnawing at him. Shadows, barely visible, slipped along the waves like predators. No one spoke of it, but the crew felt it a presence, cold and deliberate. Everyone in the Navy whispered about these commandos, a ghost story turned lethal reality. Yet, the legend of Iran's elite naval forces wasn't enough to prepare them for what was coming. Harper's mind flicked to history. During World War II, aircraft carriers had faced kamikaze attacks, close-quarters boarding attempts, even espionage from within. The USS Abraham Lincoln had been built for modern warfare, but some fears never changed. The ocean could be both a friend and a grave. He remembered reading about the failed boarding of the USS Cole decades ago, a dark tale of surprise, fire, and loss. Now, it seemed history was repeating itself, updated for a modern age. The Persian Gulf legends, the whispered tales of commandos who could strike with surgical precision, all converged here, thousands of miles away from home, on the steel spine of the carrier. Harper's stomach nodded. He wasn't just fighting a battle for the ship. He was fighting for the men he knew by name, the ones who joked about pizza deliveries, who cursed the coffee, who had wives and kids waiting on shore. "We don't leave anyone behind," he muttered under his breath. The words both a promise and a prayer. Petty Officer Lee, Barelli twin, tightened his grip on the rail. He had joined the Navy to see the world, not to stare death in the face in the middle of the Atlantic. His hands shook. I can't see them," he whispered, voice trembling. Harper clapped him on the shoulder. "Then let them see you," he said. Simple words, heavy with truth. The attack began with a whisper, a ripple along the water, like the ocean itself was warning them. Then the sky erupted. Missiles, stealth boats, and the ghostly hum of drones converged. The flight deck lit up in fiery brilliance, every explosion casting grotesque shadows against the steel. Smoke curled into the sky, thick and black, carrying the smell of molten metal and fear. The sea roared, spitting up waves that splashed the men's faces. Heat and cold collided in a strange, dizzying dance. Harper moved through it all. The world slowed to highlight every detail. The way Lee's eyes reflected the fire, the curl of Ramirez's hand on the rail, the rhythm of the ship as it groaned under stress. This wasn't war from a movie, it was raw, intimate, and merciless. Harper barked orders. Defensive missiles launched, intercepting enemy projectiles. Meet Phalanx CIWS guns spun, a whirlwind of steel and fire. But the commandos were clever, coordinating attacks in ways that challenged every protocol, every training manual. Then, a flash of insight. The attack patterned repetitive, almost ritualistic. Harper realized they weren't just striking, they were sending a message, showing weakness, testing courage. Using a combination of counter-drone tactics and electronic jamming, the crew turned the tide. Boats were neutralized, missiles intercepted, fires controlled. Slowly, painstakingly, the ship became a fortress once more, and then the unexpected. A command boat, thought lost, limped into range. Using pinpoint precision, the Abraham Lincoln's crew took it down. The commando's retreat was messy, desperate. Harper watched the horizon, chest heaving, mind spinning with relief and disbelief. Every step forward had been harder than the last. Harper thought of his daughter again, of Lee and Ramirez, of the men who had faced death and not flinched. Giving up had never been an option even when the world seemed to be ending in a blaze of fire and steel. He realized something profound. The greatest battles weren't fought in the skies, or on the decks. They were fought in hearts and minds. Courage wasn't a feeling, it was a decision, a heartbeat, a stubborn refusal to yield. And tonight, every one of them had chosen to fight. As night filled, the ocean calmed, swallowing the smoke and echoes of battle. The USS Abraham Lincoln sailed on, battered but alive. Harper finally allowed himself a long exhale. Courage isn't the absence of fear, he whispered, almost to himself. It's choosing to face it. Anyway, the city lights of distant ports twinkled like stars on the horizon. Somewhere, across the globe, someone would hear the story of this night, a night when shadows had struck and steel had responded. And in that reflection, Harper smiled a little sheepishly, proud not just of the ship, but of the men who made it home.